Well, we are very pleased that the Russian Federation has been able to take the lead in the Security Council in generating a rapid and positive response of the Security Council to the need to deploy the UN supervision mission in Syria and in support of Kofi Annan plan. I think that it's the first time in the course of the Syrian crisis that the Security Council has been able to express itself in support of a positive political strategy and also backing it up with the approval of practical measures, that is the deployment of the monitors in Syria. It is also very important that by acting today and adopting Resolution 2043, the Security Council has reestablished its primary responsibility, its prerogatives as the main international body responsible for international peace and security in the Syrian crisis. And we hope that all members of the international community and various groups which convene and spring up from time to time around the situation in Syria will respect this decision of the Security Council, will respect its prerogatives, and will act in line with the resolution which we adopted today, Resolution 2043. So we are very pleased with the outcome, and we hope that the UN supervision mission will exercise stabilizing influence on the situation in Syria. You will see, reading the text of the resolution, that it is very carefully worded. It sends signals not only to the government but also to the opposition, demanding that they refrain from violence, that they support the monitors, and they abide by the Kofi Annan plan and they implement all the provisions of the Kofi Annan plan. Also, it's important that the mandate of the mission, monitoring mission, as outlined in the resolution, is in line with the arrangements which have been worked out between the Secretariat and the Syrian government. So I think we are all set in order to start very important practical work of moving from the deployment of the advanced group of the monitors, which has already started, to the deployment of the full-fledged supervision mission. You know, the resolution says that we expect the United Nations and the Syrian government to work out the arrangements. The Syrian government maintains that they are prepared to provide the aircraft, and I have no reason to believe that this is not going to be the case. But I think we'll need to see how things happen in practice, what kind of arrangement there is going to be, and then we'll decide if those arrangements are satisfactory.
Obviously, this is a text that is sort of a happy medium between your position and the Western countries' position, including the United States. But Ambassador Rice was rather clear in saying, well, our patience is running out, and she made some conditions as to how this mission should be looked at. It's not automatically to be renewed. What do you think of that, and how do you plan to make sure that the Syrian government is held accountable since you did reject the idea of sanctions in case they don't?
Well, you know, first of all, we are not talking about any renewal now. We are talking about the deployment, the authorization of the mission, which the Security Council has done unilaterally. And in fact, I was hoping that some of the statements we heard in the big room in the Council chamber would be more in line with the message of the resolution, which was not the case. I mean, some colleagues clearly missed a wonderful opportunity to send signals to the opposition that they expect the opposition to respect the Kofi Annan plan and to respect the provisions of the resolution, which was, of course, said in the statement by the Russian delegation. So now the main thing, I think, for us to rally around this resolution and the Kofi Annan plan and the deployment of the monitors to ensure their success. And, you know, this making negative predictions sometimes looks like a prophecy which some people want to be borne out. We would like to think positively about the current situation. Incidentally, I saw today a text of a letter which was sent by Foreign Minister Mualem to Kofi Annan this morning, which says that the Syrian government has carried out the very important paragraph 2 of the Kofi Annan plan and has in fact pulled out troops and heavy weapons from cities and around cities, If indeed this is the case, then this is a very important step in the practical implementation of the Kofi Annan plan, and something which would be very important for the monitors to supervise. So I think we have a good political momentum. Hopefully this letter, if in fact what it says is accurate, which I hope it is indicates some positive practical momentum. So let's, instead of making threats and negative predictions, let's try to persevere in the positive strategy which finally we have internationally and which finally the Security Council has been able to support. Instead of, coming back to confrontational scenarios which have proven to be dangerous and which have proven to lead to further exacerbation of the situation in Syria.
Up, please, because does it bother you, Ambassador, that it's perceived, it's perception that your position is very much in support of the government against the opposition, because you keep accusing the others to be not leaning on the opposition? Does that bother you? Are you not willing to?
We do the right thing. We are very comfortable about that. We think that the strategy we have been pursuing all along is the only strategy, which I think is now something which is embodied by the Kofi Annan plan and its support by the Security Council and the decision of the Security Council to deploy the monitoring mission. This is the only strategy which can revert the cycle of violence in Syria and which can allow the Syrians themselves to work out the political arrangements for the future, which would be satisfactory to all the segments of the Syrian society. So we are on the right track now, and Russia has worked very hard to put the Security Council on the right track. We know, we are not naive, that still there are powerful forces who are not only questioning the strategy, but who actually would like to see the strategy fail, because they, as we heard today in the big room, they already have other plans which they entertain with regard to the situation in Syria. All this is unhelpful. All this is, I think, distracting and detracting from the support for Kofi Annan plan and for the peaceful political evolution of the situation in Syria. But as far as Russia is concerned, and we are very happy that we do believe that we have broad international support and that our strategy is more and more understood internationally, despite long-standing efforts and massive efforts to malign Russia's position on the situation in Syria. We believe that we have played a crucial role in trying to revert the cycle of events in Syria from confrontation and violence to political outcome. Of course, this is not guaranteed yet. So we all have to work very hard in the direction which is pointed to by a resolution we adopted today. And of course, when we hear statements or see efforts which lead in the opposite direction, we all should be concerned about that. Thank you.
Aren't you afraid of some sabotage of this mission in view of the very strange experience by previous mission of observers of League of Arab States? I mean, the fact that this mission, when it started to give some results, suddenly was cancelled, and the countries that sent observers started to recall them. Well, and there was strange history with the report of this mission. Nobody had a chance to read it.
I think, well, first of all, we did express our opinion about on the experience of the League of Arab States mission. I don't want to go back to it. In fact, let me point out that I'm very encouraged and pleased that the Moroccan delegation was among those who chose to co-sponsor this Russian draft resolution. So I like to think that now we have more and more the Arab League on board with our efforts and understanding where Russia is heading in its policy in Syria, that is towards political accommodation and establishing political process and ending violence in Syria. You are absolutely right that the monitors are facing daunting task, and we are very strongly calling on everybody, and it is reflected also in the text of the resolution, that they should respect monitors. They should provide all the necessary conditions for the monitors to perform their mission effectively. That is their responsibility to provide security for monitors. Of course, as the resolution says, the Syrian government has the most important responsibility in that. They are very courageous people who are moving into a place which is not quite yet, and I hope that they will be able to contribute to this place acquiring some quietness and stability and normalcy. We are concerned about their safety, in large measure because of the fact that there will be Russian monitors participating in the mission. So it's not going to be an easy task to perform, but we hope that they're going to continue showing courage and professionalism, that they're going to report objectively, and that the international community will be guided by their objective reports from the situation on the ground, be it critical of the government or the opposition. Please.
Ambassador, yes, sir, you mentioned objective reporting from the monitors. What can you tell us about the monitor selection protocol, what agreement was reached on that, and who these monitors will be?
Well, I'm not aware of any specific agreements on who they are going to be, and this is a matter between the Secretariat and the Syrian government. And I hope what we heard last time, we heard from the Secretariat, those observers who were nominated to become part of the advanced group of monitors, there were no problems with the Syrian government. All of them sort of got approval from the Syrian government. So we hope that this is going to be the case in the future as the monitoring mission is going to be deployed. And, you know, those are well-established practices, I think, internationally, because the Secretariat is proposing or nominating or choosing the monitors, but everybody realizes that it's a sovereign country, and this has been, you know, the case in various previous situations. And everybody realizes that it has been a crisis where some countries have been taking a very adamant position, not entirely friendly to the Syrian government. So I think one should not be surprised if now and then that might be reflected in the situation with forming this monitoring group. But I hope everything is amicably resolved. I hope that the Syrian government shows outstanding hospitality to the monitors, and that it performs fully in accordance with the resolution which outlines the responsibilities and the mandate of the supervision mission. Please.
Russian Federation considered at all an arms embargo, at least temporarily, on all sides, government, opposition, guerrillas, name.
You know what the problem with arms embargoes, as you said, on all sides, is that if there is some kind of an arms embargo, it works with regard to the government, but everybody ignores that those who are engaged in supplying weapons to armed opposition groups. So this is a big predicament which we have on the basis of our negative experience of the past. Thank you very much.